That's awesome. It's this incredible place where you've got ancient history right next to some seriously stunning modern architecture. But to really get the most out of your visit and connect with the culture, there are a few things worth knowing. In this explainer, we're going to walk you through a simple guide to being a respectful and savvy traveler, making sure your trip is amazing for all the right reasons.
To make it super easy, we've boiled it all down to just 6 essential rules. Think of this as your friendly cheat sheet for navigating Bahrain with total confidence. Honestly, if you get these right, you're pretty much set for a smooth and fantastic trip.
All right, first up, let's talk about just being out and about in public spaces. These first three rules are all about your day to day stuff, shopping, exploring the city, or just walking around. Nailing these basics is going to set a really great tone for your entire visit. Now, Bahrain can feel very relaxed and modern, but public spaces do have their own kind of etiquette. For instance, being overly affectionate in public is generally avoided out of respect for local culture. The holding hands is totally fine. And what about alcohol? Well, you can find it, but it's really important to only drink it in licensed places like hotels or bars, never out on the street or at the beach. And finally, just keep in mind that people in Bahrain really value a calm public atmosphere, so it's always best to avoid loud arguments or swearing. It just helps keep everything positive. Okay, so we've covered the basics of public etiquette. Now, let's go a little bit deeper. This next set of guidelines is all about showing respect for the cultural and religious heart of the country. The core traditions and values that really make Bahrain what it is. So this part is really important. First up, the dress code. We're going to get into the specifics in just a second, but the main idea is just to be mindful. Second, be careful with your words. Any criticism or jokes about Islam, the government, or the royal family are taken very, very seriously and can even have legal consequences. The simple rule here is if you're ever in doubt, just err on the side of being respectful. And finally, photography. Respect for privacy is huge, so always ask for permission before taking pictures of people and just steer clear of photographing any official or military buildings. Let's break down that dress code, because it's not a single rule that applies everywhere. It really has some nuance. For example, if you're in a modern shopping mall or just walking down a busy city street, your typical casual clothes are generally going to be fine. But when you're visiting a mosque, a government building, or maybe exploring a more traditional neighborhood, that's when you'll want to dress a bit more modestly. As a sign of respect, the key thing is just to make sure your shoulders and knees are covered. All right, I know we've covered a good bit of ground, so let's just pull it all together with a quick recap. Think of this as your go-to checklist for having an amazing and totally hassle-free trip to Bahrain. So let's quickly run through not just the what, but the why. Because when you understand the reason behind a rule, it just clicks. So avoiding public affection, that's all about cultural respect. Drinking in public, that's a straight-up legal issue. Dressing modestly shows respect for local morals, while insulting authority is a serious offense. The rules on photos, that's about privacy and cultural respect. And avoiding aggressive language, that falls under public decency laws. See? When you know the why, it all makes perfect sense. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final thought. Following these guidelines, it isn't just about avoiding trouble. It's really about opening doors to more genuine connections, a richer, deeper experience with the place you're visiting. So the question to think about is, how does embracing local customs actually change the very nature of our travels? It's something worth considering, not just for Bahrain, but for every single journey you take.